Right, so yeah, good to be back. In today's video, we're looking at comments in C. So comments are used to explain your code. So when you're writing your code, you need to provide some comments so that when somebody looks at your code, they at least know what your code is doing. We're usually working in teams, and so you need to convey that information to the people that you're working with. Otherwise, it's going to look cryptic. Nobody will know what your code is doing, and so it's a good practice for you to comment your code when you're writing it. It makes it more readable, even yourself, when you visit your code sometime later in the future. It's going to be easy for you to see what you were trying to do and what your code is doing, because we tend to forget, obviously, and it will look something totally new if you do not comment your code. And so avoid confusion for yourself in the future. You need to at least write comments. Simple comments, they suffice. So it's important for you to write comments. You can also use comments to prevent certain lines of code from being executed. Let's say you're trying to test a few lines of code and you have a lot of lines of code that you've written. You can comment the other lines out and then try and test those few lines that you're trying to work on. And so comments are important. And so there are a couple of ways that you can comment in C. The first one is by using double forward slashes. We call this single line comments. And so it can be applied to a single line. You can also use what we call multiline comments, which is a forward slash asterisk and then asterisk forward slash. So anything which is in between these two, the opening and the closing, which is this forward slash asterisk opening and then asterisk forward slash, which is the closing. Anything in between will be ignored by the compiler. Right, so let's try and demonstrate this in our file. So we have our files here. We're working on our prog.c, so I'm going to use vi over here to open our prog.c. So this is what we did in our previous tutorial. We looked at printing text to the terminal, and so this is what we did. I'm going to add another line here, so I'm going to yank and then put another line here. So I'm going to say I am also here. So now we have 3 lines of code. So when we say single line commenting, let's say I want to comment the first line, this line. So I can either comment it right after the statement, or I can do it above, but usually right after the statement is more clear, right? And so I'll usually comment right after the statement. So here I'll say, here what are we doing? We are printing the text hello world. That's what we're doing. So comments are meant for humans, and so you can write your comments so that humans can understand what your code is doing. And so now if somebody bumps into my file, into my code, they can see, look at this line and say, oh, okay, this line is printing the text hello world to the terminal. So now they know what this line is doing. So basically that's what comments are for. So if I escape and try and compile a program, we can compile. Each time you make changes to a source file in C, you have to recompile it. So this is what we're doing. I've recompiled. You can see I have no issues. No errors have been raised by the compiler, so that means our program is working. So if I try to run our executable is prog, so I can run prog right here. You can see down here saying hello world, I'm here and I'm also here. So nothing has changed, only the fact that we added comments. So like I said, comments are for humans. They are not for the compiler. The compiler ignores those comments. So how is it that it's ignoring those comments? Because the compiler was told, each time you see something with double forward slash, ignore that part. Or each time you see something with a forward slash asterisk and then a closing with an asterisk forward slash, ignore that part. And so this is how it's working. Let's say I want to comment the last 2 lines. I want to comment out these 2 lines. maybe I'm working on this line, maybe it's a function, I'm trying to work on it, I don't want to mix up with this other code that I have, I can comment this out for the time being so that I can work on this part. After I finish, then I can uncomment this. So what should I do? I can comment this by using a multi-line comment. So I'm going to come here and then put / asterisk, and then right at the end, so I will put an asterisk and then a /. So now you can see these two lines of code, they have been commented out. They are going to be ignored. So if I am to escape this and recompile program, obviously we have to recompile each time we make changes, and run this, execute the executable. If I run this, you can see it's printing hello world, which tells me that the other two lines, which is this line and this line, they've been ignored because we commented them. So basically that's how you comment in C. Obviously, if you are working in an organization, they might prefer a certain way of commenting. So most organizations, they prefer this style of commenting because this can also work for a single line. You can use it. I'll try and demonstrate this. Let's say I want to comment line number 2 only, so I can also use this. You can see now this line has been commented out. So you can use a multi-line for just a single line. It's still gonna work. You can also use this on multiple lines. You just have to put / on each line that you are trying to comment. Let me try and recompile and see if this is going to be ignored. Recompile. Each time you make changes, please try and recompile and then run again. You can see saying hello world, and then I'm also here because we commented that second line, which is I'm here. So it's working. You can see right here. Don't be confused by this. Some might ask or question, why is this printing out? Because we did not comment this line. We put a comment after it so that we can explain what this code is doing. We did not try to comment out the actual code, but here we are commenting the actual code which is supposed to be executed. So if we comment it out, we are preventing it from being executed. So basically that's commenting in C. If you do have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section. So in our next tutorial, we're going to look at variables, an important concept in programming. And so see you next time. For now, I'm out. Bye-bye.